Hi everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. Seems like Coco wants to greet everyone as well. She's in her speaking mode.
Yeah, our
right?
first girl decided to speak
Yeah.
literally as we're preparing to come on live, and she's still talking to us
Yeah,
now.
she's still talking. Yes.
Why, girl? Why?
No. She'll get excited. Don't
Okay,
give her the energy.
Okay. Afterwards first,
Yeah,
okay?
we are live now.
Good girl.
Okay, assuming, see anyone you want to do the sharing first?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
we hear you, Coco. Yes, very good. You want to come on Facebook Live? Yeah, okay, like your daddy say. All right, so anyone who is tuning in right now?
Triling, hello.
Triling, hi,
First one to
Triling.
respond today.
Yeah, okay.
You get the prize.
Okay. Hi, Angel. Okay, Angel is there. Hi, Jessie Silver and Gong Yu as well.
Hi.
All right, so I assume that you can hear us clearly, okay, and also you can see us clearly, right? Okay. Hi, Coco too. Felicia say. Yeah, I got distracted by Coco. Okay, let's come back. Okay, let's come back. Let's not get distracted by Coco. All right, so of course, hello, Jen. Okay, Jen Ho also say hello as well. Okay, tonight's, in a way, sharing is all about the eclipse. I'm sure some of you, loud and clear, Jen Ho, thank you for the comment on that. So I'm sure some of you probably have heard us sharing about the eclipse before. And this is something that I was just telling Gong Yu, as in like, probably we have to share this again and again and again and again, over and over again until the day that we leave this life. Because honestly, even though how many times we have shared it, we realize that there's still some people, in a way, they still have confusions, non-clarity, they are still having some questions, okay, regarding the eclipse, all right? So tonight, please, in a way, ask away if you have like any doubts, okay, any question, anything that you want to find out more, okay, from our perspective, of our take, okay, into the eclipse, both the lunar and the solar eclipse, okay,
Yes.
but of course, especially focusing on the solar eclipse.
Correct,
okay?
yeah. And also, eclipses in general, that's one. We will go over that, right?
Yeah.
The phenomenon of the eclipse. And at the same time as well, these specific ones, especially the one that is coming up on April the 9th. Right? So, of course, each
8 or 9 or
8
something.
or 9,
Yeah,
right, depending on which part of the world. And each eclipse, of course, is slightly different in terms of its the layers of the energy as well. Hi,
Yeah.
Marianne. Right?
Yeah, Marianne, yep, is the one you mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yes,
Right.
yes. Marianne just signed up for the workshop, right?
Eclipse
The eclipse workshop.
illumination,
Yeah.
the bowl.
Okay, so have you finished sharing?
Yes, I have.
You have done? That's
Yeah.
fast.
Right.
Okay, so
Shall we?
supposed to bring out the slides.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking through because it's cross stream on Jessie Lee, it's cross stream on Kong Yu, the public pages. It's also cross stream on Soleil already.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a little different compared to
Yeah. So,
1 or 2
yours
years
is
ago.
watching using your
That's
platform,
right,
right?
yes, yeah.
Okay, so no one is actually, in a way, most of the time I realize that no one is manning the Soleil Trinity platform. Probably,
Yes.
Yeah, Nicole needs to go to the Soleil Trinity platform and see if there are any questions
That's
or
right.
anything asked there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Because like next time we need more gadgets.
Yeah, occasionally you will see an unanswered question there. So that's a good reminder. We keep
Yeah.
an eye at the Soleil Trinity page as well. Hi, Hu Yi.
Yeah, hi,
Hi.
Hui.
Yep.
All right, and also before that, okay, it would be great if like probably some of you can help us to share this session out. Okay, let this like sharing sessions about the eclipse, okay, reach out there, far away out there, so that more and more people can understand what actually the eclipses are. I mean, in a way, as in like how we should be preparing for it, okay? Like what is it going to, in a way, or how is it going to impact us, okay? What can we do about it, okay? So we're going to share that on tonight's session itself. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free, okay, to ask. You want to talk about this? You want to take on the...
Yeah, in general, right? So eclipses are with the cycle of the lunar cycle, right?
Thanks to the dune.
The eclipses are based on, of course, the lunar cycle, right? Of course, the rotation of the moon around the Earth in context of the Earth's rotation around the sun, right? So once a month, once a full moon, for example, once a lunar cycle, then we see, of course, the two extreme points of where the moon is in position to planet Earth in relation to where the sun is. Yeah, so this is the 2 points that we get for each new moon and then also each full moon as well. Yeah. So the eclipse pairing is with the new moon and always with the full moon. Yeah. So in a lunar eclipse sense, okay. So let's talk about that first. A lunar eclipse is basically a heightened full moon, where the position of the moon is on the other side of the Earth, okay, compared to the sun, which is on the other side.
You can just
That's
point
right.
here.
Yeah.
So it's like easier for them to understand.
Right.
Okay? Right.
So that is the chart of the lunar eclipse, which always happens at the full moon.
Yeah.
Right. So of course it becomes an eclipse only when the certain categorization of it, right, makes it basically in this particular case where, because of the Earth's shadow, in being in between the sun and also the moon, right, it is cast on the moon, right? So that's why an eclipse is really a heightened full moon.
All right. So here I would just say is that during the lunar eclipse itself, right, this is actually showing the total lunar eclipse. Of course, you have like different phase, okay,
Different
of
categories.
eclipse, different categories.
Yeah.
It means like some of it's like partial, some of it's full. When it's total, then it's full itself. So basically, it's just okay talking about the alignment of the sun, the earth, and the moon, okay, in a slightly different position. So the interchangeable sort of position is always about the moon. Either it is at the extreme far off, okay, between the sun and the earth, or it is in between the earth and the sun itself, at its most central position, where it is either in a way blocking, I would say it's like blocking, how to say, totally, okay, the path, okay, of the sun, okay, or moon, how to say, the path of the sunlight, okay, or in a way that the earth is totally blocking the path of the sunlight that is got reflected on the moon
Onto the
itself.
moon itself,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Right.
So now the pattern is when we see this alignment of the sun, the earth, and moon in a way aligned together in the exact how to say axis. One direct, I would say, alignment, okay? That is when a total lunar eclipse or total solar eclipse happens. Now, why we need to understand this? Because it's like when it comes to astrology or Chinese astrology in Bazi, right, okay? A lot of people talks about the term of Fu Yin. Fu Yin means that, okay, when you have a total alignment of the same elements, okay, appearing, right, together again. When you see the same element, like those of you who are familiar, okay, with me ever since 2020 up to 2022, I keep on talking about the Grand Centurion Portal. Okay, why is it so like powerful in terms of energy? Okay, and what's so special about it is because of the alignment of the year, month, day, and hour. If you remember, it's a Ren Yin year, Ren Yin month, Ren Yin day, and also Ren Yin hour. So when these four elements of the same align exactly, okay, in the same alignment of each other, that is when we say it created a Fu Yin, or in other words, it created a void, an emptiness. All right. So now, when the sun, the earth, and the moon itself aligns in such a way, it also in a way creates a certain void, a certain emptiness. Okay. So what sort of this like emptiness is, and how is it going to impact us? Now we know that once it's aligned, everything that is aligned, when they talk about the stars, okay, and the planets alignment, is very special, because this is something like a cubic sort of like, you know, a cubic when you play with the cubic, it's not easy with the Rubik's Cube. Yeah, the Rubik's Cube itself, it's not easy for the how to say, the proper alignment to happen. So when everything is properly aligned, right, okay, it opens up a certain void of energy, okay, where void of energy means that, okay, energy in a way can fully move in and out between different, I would say, realms, do you call it? Okay, right, different realms, different portals, different dimensions up. Okay, let's put it that way. And this one is like you see that the alignment during 2020, the Great Conjunction, happened, followed by the Bazi chart reflected, okay, in year 2022, right, during the Grand Centurion Portal. And of course, every now and then we will have a total solar eclipse and a total lunar eclipse. It doesn't happen every year though. Okay, like total solar eclipse, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't happen last year. Did it? No.
Yeah.
Did it? Yes, maybe it did. It was...
I can't really recall without checking the notes.
So some of the solar eclipse itself, probably it appears like 1 year, and then after that it lapses another year, and it appears maybe 2 years consecutively, then it lapses another 1 or 2 years. All right, eclipses happens every year, but not every year we have a total solar eclipse, because the total solar eclipse is the most powerful, okay, of all the different, I would say, stages, okay, of eclipse itself.
Yep.
So now we have to understand, once we know that, okay, eclipse means that it's all aligned, the sun, the moon, and the also earth. So in terms of astrology, okay, then we need to understand, so what does this sun, moon, and earth represents? Okay, because only if we understand that what this particular element represents in terms of Chinese metaphysics, then only we will understand how is it going to impact us. All right, so now we know that, yeah, the sun, the moon, and the earth, okay, aligns, okay, in one particular alignment that created that total void, that total opening of the portal where energy, imagine that it can just zap in and out, okay, means intensify of the energy. But now what does this sun, the moon, and also the earth represents? So the next one here, okay, that we understand from our studies, okay, the sun here looks into something of that represents our soul spirit, okay, our soul or our spirit, the essence of it, okay. Now I will just say is that, okay, now why is it soul and spirit? I mean, to me, okay, to me as in like, now, some souls can be something that has already have a lot of probably, you know, like we have different types of soul, like, let's put it out there, okay? Every living being has a soul. Every living beings out there have a soul. As long as it's alive, it has a soul, okay? Even that in the air itself, okay, you have some energy. And when some energy forms, okay, into some patterns, when the energy forms, grouped together into some patterns, okay, I will say that there are certain, I would say a soul, okay, of energy, some certain energy within this pattern itself, right, that created the soul. Of course, sometimes you have like the light, okay, the light elevated energy, okay, which we call is like the enlightened soul, okay, or you have also the heavy, okay, energies itself that are in a way has been like, I would say probably tarnished, affected, I would say how to say 污染開啊 contaminated, let's put it that way, contaminated by a lot of heavy energy, okay, that's what we call the heavy soul. And then sometimes we call this is like the heavy soul itself, sometimes you can call it like lost souls lah, wandering souls lah, even like ghosts or whatever, but those are souls, you know, okay. Now the thing is like, now once this particular soul itself is purified, okay, once it's purified, once it go through a lot of like lessons and breakthroughs and keep on in a way working its way towards the light. The light means back to the star, back to the brightest element that's nearest to us, which is for us in our case is the sun in our solar system, right? This is the nearest star which is in the solar system itself. It's like part of our solar system. And of course, there are many other lights as well. We have many other stars, okay? We have like the Polaris stars, we have like the Orions, okay? Like we have Sirius, okay? All these different like stars itself in a way represents different, I would say, different stars or different sun, okay, in different galaxies, okay, or different systems itself, all right? So now that, okay, the sun here represents the soul, right, or the path or the direction that we are supposed, in a way, to learn to move ourselves, okay, or to learn to get ourselves, like, in a way, to be a part of this particular, the light of the sun. Because in our particular solar system itself, this stars itself emits the light, okay? Even the moon itself, it doesn't have the light. It's merely the reflection of the light that is given out, okay, by the sun. So when we say enlightenment itself, it means that, okay, we somehow reach, okay, the part where we are connected or being at one, okay, with the star or any particular stars that gives out the light, okay, that we are connected to. So when we reach to that aspect itself, okay, this is considered one of the highest level, okay, of the soul. All right. Now, another one is, of course, the earth. The earth here represents the body, the physical body, where we are in this lifetime, in this physical self itself. That is the body, okay? Right? Earth represents something solid, something physical, something that is like, in a way, how to say, do you call physical? It's not tangible, right? Is it tangible?
Yeah, tangible.
Yeah, it's like called tangible as well.
Concrete.
Yeah, okay.
Et
So
cetera.
earth represents that. Our physical, okay, where we are, okay, I would say it's like current moment, current positioning, okay. And then of course the moon itself, okay, represents our mind, right? Our mind means, in a way, of course, the mind directly impacts our emotion, our beliefs, our mind, collective informations, expressions of feelings, okay, or emotions, okay, that we have within us, that is stored within the moon. So the moon here, most of the time, in a way, people say is that it represents or it governs our emotions, right? Because the mind triggers our emotion. Because we do not or we will not have any reactions of emotions until the mind sends something. The mind, in a way, filter something, digesting something, okay? The mind first triggered that seed, okay, of reaction to certain aspect or experience in life. And when the mind digests that, okay, the emotion starts to come out. So the moon here, okay, represents, okay, the mind. So now, when this three elements itself is aligned, okay, so whenever we have the three elements, okay, aligned together, okay, let's say the sun, okay, the moon, and also the earth aligned together, that creates a void. Means this void itself, okay, can help us to, in a way, access freely. Imagine it's like a tunnel or like an open space of emptiness that is open up, okay, between the sun, the moon, and also the earth itself, that in a way helps us to have a free access into, okay, the future, okay, the present, and also the past, right? Now, because when the three things, how to say, align itself, okay, you see, the past, of course, the earth represents the past, okay? Everything's that, in a way, there's a physical remnants, the physical residue of things. Earth element, in terms of metaphysics, we talk about the 5 elements. So earth represents the past. And fire represents the future, because fire has no past. Fire only burns, okay, and keep on burning. Because once the fire stops burning, it's only left with ashes. And ashes is a past, okay? So fire represents the future. Earth represents the past, where the mind over here represents the present, all right? So when these three things are aligned, it opens up, okay, these three particular dimensions in our life, right? Connecting us into the past, current, present, and also the future. And in order for us to, in a way, be able to be aware of this past, present, future, the mind is very important. The center of the thing is the mind, the moon, okay? Where the mind, because you see, when your mind is flying around like a monkey mind, right, you cannot access this particular alignment of past, present, future in a way happening at the same time. I mean, some of us probably, we have watched a lot of like what, Marvel's movies, Doctor Strange, right, and all those things, right, okay? So whenever we get into that matrix or that the different dimensional sort of like things happening on different dimensions or different realms happening at the same time, it's all about the mind power. Our mind will help us, okay, to in a way connect to our future and also our past. That's why meditations and manifestations happen, okay? Meditations and manifestations happen through the mind. We have to, in a way, learn how to ground ourselves, to tame the mind, to manage the mind so that in a way it is grounded at the present, securely rooted at the present, and so that it can travel back and forth in order for us to manifest the future that we would like, and also to meditate into the past that we have experienced, okay, to unlock or to release or to let go of whatever that no longer serves us. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I was just about to say, because just now when we were talking in the intro part, right? So the term void, which is often used, which is of course translated from Chinese, right? And then of course there's the term emptiness as well in relation to it. So, and they're the same or similar, right? So a lot of times when we hear those they have a negative connotation to them.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, like humans like to give labels or certain feelings, emotions, and energy there, right? But that's the thing, right? So when we're not used to it, the term void always sounds a little bit scary, but it's actually a portal.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a thorough way, right? Something can flow through, energy can flow through, and that is really where we access, for example, you know, the future, right? And then of course the ability to access the past as well.
Yeah.
Right? Amongst other things. So I think there's this movement that we need to do, not to see the word void and emptiness as something that is negative. Or darkness.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. That I really think that this is important, because a lot of times, right, people will just prejudge. It's all in the mind of the beliefs or the passed down beliefs, okay, that we have heard ever since probably that before even we were born. Of course, this lifetime you hear like people say, oh, every time you hear eclipse, okay, especially the solar eclipse itself, or hide yourself, okay, don't go out there because it's going to be bad, right? From young itself, right, okay, I've learned, because I've grew up in the temple, I've heard that, oh, this is like, how to say, 天狗食日, they say, it's like the heavenly dog eating the sun, or swallowing the sun. So you see all sorts of like stories, okay? You know, when we were young, people, the old people in the temples and all that, they have all sorts of this fascinating, okay? It's truly fascinating when they say something itself, right? Okay, right? It is like wow, okay? Especially, you know, when I was very young and I go to my mom's hometown, okay? It's like in like Menglembu Kampung and that, and then my grandma telling all these sort of stories, right? It is so fascinating because those days itself, right? You don't really have much to watch in the TV, all right? So whenever they tell stories, right, you find it very fascinating, and this stories becomes part of our belief. And most of the time, and most of the stories is all about what? It's all about the fear, okay, of this like darkness that's going to happen, like the eclipse that's going to happen, all right? Every time it's relating to the fear. So we can understand in a way, all right, why most of the people are afraid every time when it comes to eclipses like this, all right? So that is also in a way like our mission, or I won't say mission so much lah, okay, right? Because that requires a lot of commitment.
Yeah,
okay?
it wouldn't just be a mission to clarify
to
this.
clarify eclipse. Okay, we won't spend the rest of our life, okay, to clarify this.
But part of the
yes,
the
yeah,
work.
the part of the work that we do.
Work.
Yeah, the part of the work that we do itself. I think it is important for us to try and share this out as much as possible so that people, okay, and also starting with like all of you here who's tuning into this live right now, you can start to tell a different story. You see, the world changes when everyone starts, okay, that small little bits of starting to tell a different story, a different side of a perspective. And you can see that the amazing things nowadays is like, even I would say that like big entertainment industries and all this, they are trying, you can see, they are trying to tell, okay, a story from a slightly different perspective. You look at Disney, okay, is definitely one of them. Will you get backlash out of it? Definitely. Okay, you will see like Little Mermaid lah. What else are that? There's a lot of controversy and all those things, right? You will see, but you know that they are trying. Even Sleeping Beauty, was it Sleeping Beauty? Okay, yeah. Okay, the Magnificent and all that is Sleeping Beauty, right? So you see that they are trying to tell different stories, okay, because there are many different angles to a certain story. So this is the part that all of you, after tonight itself, probably we all can start to tell a slightly different story of how this alignment, what is it exactly, all right, and how and why I personally believe that it's not that bad after all. Because if you search about it, you just search about like eclipse, solar eclipse example. There are, if I'm not mistaken, right, okay, some theses, okay, or some I would say research, okay, has been done up to like some thesis paper has been really in a way write up in, I think, Harvard or Oxford or both of them, okay, in a way, all right, researching into how the ancient China emperor behaved, okay, in a way, I think two astrologers, okay, astronomers, okay, who failed to predict correctly the solar eclipse. Okay, all right. So when this particular, in a way, emperor realized, okay, that his, I would say, governing astronomer, okay, failed to, in a way, predict correctly, right, the arrival of the eclipse, okay, these astronomers get beheaded right away. Now imagine how important this particular phenomena is, okay, up to the extent of the punishment is so severe. All right, because this is something that in a way, let's say for instance, if I have a total solar eclipse, okay, this year, now, okay, coming up in April 8 or 9, and imagine if I miss this, okay, I won't get it next year. Next year, definitely there will not be any total solar eclipse. Now imagine how furious the emperor can be if this particular date is so important and there are so many important rituals or things that he probably, okay, in a way would want to perform or do, okay, and yet the astronomers in a way now fail to predict this. All right, so therefore they get this, what we call, and it is up to now, you can see, like you can easily Google about it because it has been kept up to now. Now imagine that it is so important, okay, all right, that you get a death sentence. So if that's the case, okay, then eclipse here, okay, is not really in a way, like I won't say there's something like afraid, and you will see that in the olden days itself, right, during the eclipse, right, shamans and all that, right, they will always try to predict, they will always try to see the omens. They use the, I would say, the eclipse as a moment for them to see the omen of the future of the person that they are focusing on. Example, in those days are the emperors, okay? right, the emperors normally they will want to see, okay, on this special day is that the void, the portal has opened from the past to the present to the future. So it's the best time for them to look into the omen, as in like most of the time you will see that the story says they want to know how long they will be in power. Okay, they want to know how long they will reign this particular empire, be in power, okay, and then after that itself, right, okay, they want to see any obstacles that's forthcoming and how to get rid of it. So therefore, and all these particular omens itself, okay, mainly are done on a very, very specific timing, which is especially the solar eclipse. Now, if you look into that, you see, none of these stories actually say that it's a bad thing, okay, right? It is not a bad thing. Of course, okay, they say the emperor won't make important rulings or decisions during the eclipse because the eclipse has a focus of something even greater, something even deeper, something even like in a way like more, I would say, magical to work on, right? They will prepare rituals, prayers, ceremonies, including sacrifices during the eclipse itself for them to in a way understand what is the future holding for them, okay? So for them to understand this, then only they will start working on it after the eclipse has passed. Now imagine if this is the story, then why is it that eclipses are so scary? Why are people running away from it? All right, so therefore, it's like this is also in a way important for all of us to know that, okay, eclipses is a very powerful moment of phenomena for us to go deep within ourselves, to reach deep into our past, okay, so that we can now foresee, okay, you can say predict lah, but anything is like in a way I would say that it's a foreseeing the future. Because when we see the past, okay, and we see the now, we can almost in a way be able to see the future, okay, of that particular someone or even yourself. So eclipse is the best time to do that. Now, but then why so many people really swear by it that eclipse are like really bad? People will always blame to the eclipse. Every time a solar eclipse that happens, some like probably some stock market, okay, will have issues or problems. Some will go through some financial crisis, example, okay, all right, and then people will start having a lot of like emotional, like sort of like act out of it, okay. Why is that so? Now remember, okay, in order for us to be able to connect through the portal, okay, and maximize its usage for us, okay, we need to control the mind. The mind needs to be very mindful. The awareness level needs to be there, right? But if we are like normally running around like headless chicken, okay, we don't know exactly what is our purpose. We do not know what exactly is our passion. We only have a lot of fear of missing out, fear of not able to achieve something in our life itself. When the mind is not totally in a way filled with clarity and passion, but otherwise filled with like in a way like fear. Right? If that's the case, after the eclipse, when the portal is open, right? Imagine it will opens you up into more fear, like more, I would say, like risk, more emotions that needs to come out to trigger. Remember, when it opens up your mind, and the mind is the storage of emotions. And imagine if all this while we have all these seeds of emotions within us: anger, frustration, sadness, okay, depressions and all these things. If all these things is within us during the eclipse, okay, it will open up the doors for all this to come out. Now imagine if all this come out, okay, the possibilities is during the eclipse itself, more people are affected by it, all right? Not knowingly, okay, do not know why, but they are affected probably more emotional, okay? They feel easily, in a way, snap, okay, emotionally. They feel that these emotions will slowly brings them, okay, to act on certain action. And because of that, you will see that, of course, people will say that during the eclipse itself or after the eclipse, right, more catastrophe, okay, right, things becomes more, I would say, chaotic, and people swear by it that says that things becomes bad, so-called. Now remember, eclipse opens up the portal for us to learn, to grow, and to break through. But for people who are unwilling to learn, unwilling to grow, okay, when the portal is open, it is a bad thing. Okay, people will feel that, oh, this is bad, right? All the things that we're supposed to learn now will come to us. Like a open gush of things, like everything just come and flow to us so that we can learn it. So therefore, inner work up to now is very important for us to go deep within ourselves. And the issues that we have, now you see in the olden days, right, okay, what we learn, okay, in schools in those days compared to what we learn in school, right, in these days are so different. Even I think my children, when it comes to Chinese school, I'm not sure whether now, okay, they still have this like teachings in school or not. But I remember I was so happy because I have not studied Chinese before. All right, but I was very happy. I know that when they go into standard 1 in a Chinese school itself, right, they were made to learn 低者亏. 低者亏 is like part of like how to say it's a part of the Tao, okay, right, okay, it's part of the Tao itself, okay, where you have a lot of all these virtues, okay, that you have to learn about it. Now, this is something, okay, now imagine in the olden days, all the teachers are Taoist masters or Buddhist masters. These are the teachers, okay? They teach us a lot of like the concept of life. They teach us a lot of the concept of spirituality. Okay, we learn about life, we learn about the virtues of things, okay? We learn about the Tao, okay? Basically, it's all about that. We learn about this symbol, we learn about yin and yang. We learn about balancing our life, okay? So these are the, in a way, the learnings that in the old days we were all taught, okay, with this sort of like teachings, right? So whenever it comes to the lessons of life itself, right, or the laws of the universe, okay, the basic things to, in a way, help us to overcome, okay, the test of our emotions and our mind, okay, when it got act up, we have all these things equipped within us to handle it. But nowadays in school, most of the time, ever since even like preschool, you will see that student learns about what? Money management, financial management. It really, you know, before even primary school, you will see that there are some schools, okay, there's like what, money tree or whatever, like, okay, before schools also, they learn about financial management. They learn about, in a way, getting like fame, success, okay, how you are, in a way, rank, okay, in your immediate environment by the success that you achieve, okay, by the ranking that you achieve, either in terms of your core curricular or in terms of your academic, everything comes with that ranking. They segregate people as in like those who are successful and those who are like a failure, so-called. Now imagine if we come into this sort of environment of learning itself, right, okay, whenever the eclipse happens, and the eclipse will happen no matter what you teach in school, it will happen because it's part of the law of the universe, it's the law of the nature. And when it happens, okay, internally, our spiritual self, our soul self itself, right, will have to go through these evolutions of learning, okay, and so-called passing for these particular lessons that we have to learn. It's not passing the exam now. Exam, of course, you can memorize your whole entire textbook and you can pass it. But when you're not equipped with, gosh, okay, these emotions keep coming to me, I don't know how to handle it, because I was told since young that you're not supposed to be angry, you're not supposed to cry, and now it's coming to me. It's like, how am I going to learn this? How am I going to handle it? Right? So because of that itself, you will see that more and more people suffers, and every time eclipse comes, okay, you will see that more and more people will be impacted negatively by it. But you see, if we continue to run away from it and cursing and swearing about it and like really believing that the eclipse is the cause of the issue, then we will never transcend above it. So the issues now is not about the eclipse. The issues now is we are toppled out of this balance equations of the yin and yang, where most of the people now work on the yang side, physical, tangible, something have the immediate result, something to be seen. That's why you see more and more people, it's like they need brands, they need nice houses, they need beautiful dress, they need to like do up themselves, okay, into like, to look like someone they are not. Okay, why is that? Is because the yang part, something which is like out there prominently into the eyes of others, that's all we see. We only see the appearance, okay, of a person, but not the in-depth yin part of the person, the soul, okay, whatever that's happening within them. That's why depression is getting worse and worse. That's why more people are in a way suicidal, because the internal, the depth that brings us internal, the internal part of us, we do not realize. We don't even know. Forget about the past, okay? The past means we know our ancestor. We know where we come from. It helps us to understand our lineage lessons, okay? Whatever that has happened to our ancestors, we bear the DNA. It's part of us. Whatever lessons, if they have yet unlearned, we have to learn it, because that's how we break the pattern. We balance up the equation. But don't talk even about the ancestors. Most of the people don't even know about themselves now, okay? Because it's like for them, a lot of times like, we are just a name that's given to us. That's all. We are just a title that's given to us. That's all. We are just an achievement, okay, with a certain certifications that are given to us in this lifetime. And because of that itself, that is lacking on the depth of thing, people or now society are going into the width of thing. People are spreading fast, but everything is on the surface level. Everything touch base on the surface. Everything in a way is like when we are supposed to work on energy, and energy represents everything in our life itself. Love is energy, money is energy, success is energy. But instead of looking into the in-depth root that all this success, love, money, everything is energy based, we just look at money. Money is the surface, the width part. We just look at money, okay? We just want to look at like the cars that we can afford, the house that we can afford, and how much zeros, okay, or cash we have in our bank. So that part is going with on the surface level without going in depth into things. Now, if we in a way do not go in depth into things and keep on going spreading on the surface level, eventually imagine now you have a plant or the tree, okay, and imagine this tree keep growing on the surface, but internal the root is not growing at all. It's not penetrating deep at all. It's not grounded at all. Do you think that eventually this tree itself will just tumble and fall? All right, so it's the same equation, right? And this tree we're talking about is a tree of life, is a tree of our life itself. So therefore, it is important that every time during the eclipse is the best time for us to work into the in-depth of things, right? Why we want to go into like meditations, why we want to in a way stay indoors. Supposedly, eclipses are supposed to be the time where we go into a reflective mode, to go deep within ourselves, to reflect onto our past, to meditate into it, to find the answer, to release and unblock whatever that's no longer serving us, so that now we can manifest into the future. But in the olden days, imagine the easiest way, okay, to control, right, a community is to use fear-based, right? Imagine it's like the emperor or the advisor to the emperor have to tell everyone in the whole entire community itself, okay, to stay home and meditate and all these things during the eclipse. It will be good for you. So the easiest way to do is okay, to tell you how dangerous this eclipse is, how bad is it going to be, so that you stay home and don't get yourself distracted by any other things. Stop all your businesses, forget about anything at all, okay, and just stay home so that hopefully you will take some time to reflect on your life. Isn't that the easiest way to handle, okay, situations under these circumstances? So because of that, this particular seed point, over thousands of years, it has grown. Like this little seed of fear that they have once used have grown into a big ball of fear now, okay, rolling into our society, that everyone now, in a way, just says that, oh, eclipse, stays at home. Don't come out. Don't look at it. It's going to be bad for you. Why? I don't know. People say like that. Ancestors say like that. We follow. Right? But we need to understand why is it so. Leanne says, where's Joseph? We shall ask him tomorrow.
I chuckled. He's preparing for his workshop tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't want to stress him. Huh? I tagged him, the other day. Right? Okay, so now, okay, once we at least in a way understand, okay, like eclipse, what it's all about, how is it going to impact us, especially in a way because eclipse is all about the movement of the moon, okay? And this movement of the moon itself, it means that, okay, the movement of our mind, okay, and the mind subsequently affect our emotions, all right? So therefore, now that we understand during the eclipse itself, it's the best time for us to go deep so that eventually we can spring up higher. That's why eclipse moments are the best, okay, for us to have this mindfulness, to go into meditations, and then eventually goes into manifestations. That is the purpose of eclipse. And of course, this year, I see, eclipse is a pattern. Okay, so this is something that I think I've created since 2021, okay, when I first started officially talking about eclipse and all that, okay. You see that eclipse can in a way be worked out, okay. Eclipse can be worked out because it's all a cycle. Every 18 months, okay, you will see the eclipse happening. Every 18 months, the eclipse will be happening itself. And in a way, it also comes in a pairing, right, of it. So this year itself, the eclipse happening in like, okay, end of March towards the early April. And then of course you have like end of September to early October, right? So this is the eclipse seasons itself. And the upcoming one, which is, they call it also the Great North America eclipse. Now I know, okay, they call it the Great. It is not wrong. That's why I know some people say, why call it the Great North America, okay, eclipse, where a lot of people believe that eclipses are something to be fearful of. The eclipse is something great, okay? When it crosses upon your land or crosses upon you, okay? Because those times itself are the best for you to, in a way, be under it to do in-depth meditations and manifestations, okay, for us to connect, remember, past, present, and future. But the thing is, in our modern worlds, which is mainly based on fear, when an eclipse crosses over your land, it might not be that great. In a sense, why? Now remember, how many people out there are even into meditation? This is something very new. All right, how many people out there are into mindfulness? How many, in a way, all right, people out there are in a way like focused on their inner work and inner self, are in touch with their own emotions, okay, and like the seeds of emotions which is within them. Out of probably 9 out of 10 people have no awareness whatsoever, okay, probably 1 out of 10, okay, have this awareness, okay, people knows that life is more than just like money or wealth or fame or status, okay, but doesn't mean we are not reaching for that, right, because that's part and parcel of our modern world. We need that. But the thing is, besides just that, we look into something deeper. We work on something on the root level, energy level. When we work on energy, all these things are energy. If our energy is aligned, right, money, relationship, love, passion, everything else is energy. But the thing is, if most of the people do not have this cultivations or awareness, okay, of their internal emotions, of their internal fear that is like lurking around their subconscious mind, in a way, always making them to snap without aware, okay, aware. Nowadays people snap, right? You stuck in the jam for a while, you see people horn like crazy, they snap and they curse and swear, and then chances that they end up in the fight, right? Every single little things, you see trolls on like social medias and all that. Even though something that's totally not related to you, but people in a way release or express their emotions onto something that have, in a way, nothing to do with you. But people feels good with it. Okay, they feels good when they can curse someone, they swear someone, they can, in a way, F someone out on the social media. And why is it so? Because in their life itself, probably they do not have this platform. They can't do it. Right? They go to work, they see their boss, they couldn't do it. They go home and say they see their wives or the husbands, vice versa, they couldn't do it. All right, so they couldn't really bring out this particular trapped emotions within them. So what they do is whenever they see an outlet, a platform where they deem that they can express themselves and all the seeds needs to come out, and that's when damage is going to happen. Right? So now imagine a country or a land where the total solar eclipse goes through, where majority of the people have no awareness whatsoever or whatever seeds they have within them. All right, the fear they have within them, or how they are manipulated by their own ego. And when the eclipse goes over them, they have the highest impact. And this entire country or entire land itself, everyone's emotions has in a way been sprung into the void. Suddenly, all these seeds of so-called the fear or devil or whatever is like all hell break loose. What will happen to the country? The riots will become intense, okay? The hatred will become intense, okay? The emotions of the people becomes intense, okay? If the original state of this country are all lovey-dovey, I mean, example, if like people talk about Bhutan is the happiest place on earth, okay? I have yet to witness that, okay? Angel, okay, if you're watching this, probably you are going to Bhutan very soon, right? You witness it. But based on what I've researched on Bhutan, right, okay, they have no reason not to be happy, right? Okay, because it's like, now they are more flexible, but all these whiles, right, okay, if I'm not mistaken, right, all of them has a traditional, like country, like traditional wear they need to wear. Everyone else wears the same thing, right? Imagine if everyone wears the same thing, there's no comparison, right? There's no like, oh, you're wearing Hermes, but I'm only wearing like what, okay, LV or Dior, or compared to a Coach, or compared to a Bonia. Okay, so those are different. But if everyone is wearing the same thing, no comparison, everyone is happy, okay? And then it's like there's not much entertainment. I'm not sure whether now they have like much TV program or whatever. Accordingly, there's not much of that. And then also the whole land itself does not hold the energy of fear so much, is because they do not slaughter animal. Imagine that. The whole entire country, there's no slaughtering of animal. They import, okay, whatever meat. They still eat meat, but they import the meat either from India or from Nepal and all that, but they do not kill them. Now imagine, like, in a way, working in an environment like this, all right? Like, and oh, one more thing, if I'm not mistaken, right, okay, this one is like very funny, because it's like a friend of mine told me, okay, that apparently all assets or the houses that you bought, you have to put under the wife's name, right? Like people always put it, right, okay, when your wife is happy, okay, everyone is happy, right? But you search about this, this one only a friend tells me, I've not really verified it, okay? But the thing is now, imagine if that's the happiest place on earth, total eclipse goes over that land, no problem. Why? Because it releases all the love and happiness, okay, within the people. But imagine if the total eclipse goes already like going over a land that people harbors a lot of like, in a way, like unhappiness, okay, non-fulfilled, okay, already harboring a lot of like dissatisfaction within them. And when the eclipse goes over this particular land itself, what will happen? Most of the people who are affected by this eclipse without awareness of our emotions, okay, and understand our inner work will snap. And imagine the seasons when the eclipse happened, right? This whole entire season when the energy is intense, right? People go haywire, you know. All right, so therefore, because of this, then people start to say that eclipses are bad. Because, I mean, based on statistics, yeah, it's true, but every time eclipse happens, wow, the whole entire place itself, right, becomes havoc. The havoc is because every individual is lacking of that mindfulness to understand our own personal lesson, to understand that a lot of things in a way comes from within us. So if we keep on working on ourselves itself, okay, no matter how the eclipse cross over you, you are not afraid. Because once it opens up the portals, you take this opportunity, release even more. Right, so that you can harness even better energy. That's it. And you keep on working it with it, right, okay, it's not going to impact you negatively, where else it's going to, in fact, impact you positively. So I hope that at least some of you understands this, okay? And because of that, you see that this year's eclipse also in a way special. You know that throughout the years itself, okay, ever since like the Grand Central Portal that have opened, last year, I showed that last year there are many pure chi happening in all the 60 jiazhe of the monthly pillars, okay? But this year we have 2 pure chi, okay? Pure earth chi, which is in April and May, especially April itself, Wu Chen. Now, and the total solar eclipse happens, okay, in a Wu Chen, which is April 8 or 9, which officially enter into Wu Chen. The pillar itself is also pure, no blockage. Now, not only that, this particular solar eclipse is also very special in the sense that April flying star charts, if you are into feng shui, you can see that the yearly flying star charts and the monthly flying star charts are also aligning, okay, with its particular number. So you will see that all the numbers, okay, are aligning in a way, opening up in terms of the, I would say, the Fu Yin perspective. Now, that is what we call heaven, earth, man alliance. In heaven, there's an eclipse happening, okay? And then, of course, the tools of flying star charts and all that to see the earth, okay? To see the way that is like, in a way, like the earth feng shui and all that is flying star charts, right? Okay, so the earth also, in a way, is all aligning, creating that opening of the portals, okay? And of course, Parzi tells us about what? Tells us about the human. Why we need to know or look into Parzi is because we want to know how we should use these tools to work on ourselves, within ourselves. So now this is truly a month now that you see this eclipse happen, heaven, earth, man aligns, okay, through the different tools of metaphysics. Okay, all right, so now basically, yeah, that's all. Why are you laughing at me?
Right.
Yeah, I really thought it's like, okay, let Kong Yu, like, you talk this part, you talk this part, lah. We try to make it more balanced, but it's not happening. For me, it's just like once I talk, it's like I just couldn't stop. All right? Yeah.
I just wanted to add with this. Do you have anything else to?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's the core of the eclipse, right? And then if you look at it to the perspectives of the astrology, that's one. And then the perspective of the earth, which Jessie briefly shared as well. So it's a very opportune moment, isn't it, for us to look deep into ourselves. And then also, because the eclipse really is happening only on that particular dates that we mentioned, April 8th and also 9th. Now, naturally, of course, everything has its peak, and then everything has its energy that draws out over the certain period, right? So you can see in the longer period, the medium term, right, the eclipse is going to have a 6 months lasting effect, okay? But having said that, then of course the rest of the month actually becomes very opportunistic once we're able to use the eclipse energies, the depth of the yin, to do the inner work so that we can then propel forward. Right, so after that, once we clear the eclipse and one or two other astrological phenomena, right, of the month, of which one of it is actually Mercury going retrograde, right at the beginning of April and then lasting till the 24th. And that, of course, gives us that additional layer of the inner work, of the review and assessment that we can do, right? Powered by the energy that is aligned in the heavens. So that's very exciting, right? From many perspectives. So some of it I will share more during my April updates. But there's one phenomena that's happening, that's the Mercury retrograde in conjunction with the eclipse, which it doesn't always happen together like that. Then the other couple of phenomena as well, where we see that there is this continued emphasis, right, on looking into both yang and yin. And it's not just in the matter that Jesse has shared that is generally applicable, right? To go higher, we need to go deeper, right? And we need to look into depth and not so much the breadth, the width of things. So generally, that's already true. But in this year's alignment itself, that we see additional factors that point to the same thing. And for this particular eclipse, even more so, where there is that emphasis of the yin within the yang and the yang within the yin. So what does this mean, right? So to me, this actually means that within each of those categories, that means we need to go really deep, right? We need to anchor ourselves down and dig out those issues that are hidden in the depths of the denial, etc., the guilt, the shame, whatever, that we may have buried under, right? But within that also, we need to be able to see the yang, right? Where the potential lies in basically those healing of these negative or areas, right? Or these hidden parts, or these embedded parts, or the deep-seated parts ourselves, right? There's a potential to use that healing, which is of course themed as well to the year of the dragon, the month of the dragon, April, where the eclipse is happening, to really propel us once we're able to heal those deep wounds. So that's what I would say, looking at the yang opportunities within the yin. Then alternatively, right, whatever that is basically the outward, whatever that is in the so-called positivity and the possibilities of, say, for example, manifestation that we have, right, with the waxing moon, right, once we grow out of the eclipse, and then with other factors as well, which I will share not in this particular session, but for example in the April forecast, right, we also have the need to basically look into the yin, which means what? The key factors of the value systems with the work that we're doing, the values of the people that we're with, the types of relationships that we're needing to change in terms of the relationship dynamics, maybe outright change of relationships, right? They don't have to be personal, but can be clan related, could be industry related, for example, right? And the importance of this dynamics that we need to look into. We need to adjust, we need to basically kind of fine-tune a little bit how we see the people around us in terms of where we want to go. Because that's one key energy system, particularly for March as well, moving into April. So that's how I would view the yin within the yang. So there's so many powerful overlaps, right, which we're currently experiencing, right, which gives us the opportunity to go really, really deep once we put the totality of the yin yang together.
Yeah, I think there's a few names that I have to say hi to. Nofiros is there, Melissa Lim. Okay, hi Melissa, Tammy Tan, Mr. Lim, Serious Bride. Okay, still in Japan. When are you coming back? When are you coming to KL? Okay, Susim, hi. Susim, missing you, Susim. Peng Lo is there. Felicia, we say hi. Leanne is there. Okay, hi Leanne. Gary Tan. Okay, hi Gary. Okay, Gary said I've been wrongly informed. Okay, now I know. I mean, yeah, we all have been. Okay, in a way, because it's part of the majority dynamic that's happening. But if you really come to look into it, it's not exactly wrong. It's just we were informed only part of it. Now, example, if for some people who are never intended to have breakthroughs in their life, all right, they never want to do any breakthroughs, okay, right, then they better run far, far away from the eclipse, right, because the eclipse, once it opens up, right, all these lessons that comes to us, it's never easy, all right. I'm sure, Gary, out of so many people, all right, so all these lessons that comes to us, it's not an easy lesson. It is something that will really test us left, right, center, emotionally, in a way, mentally, physically as well, all right. But once we are open, okay, and we understand how energy works, and we really want to work on it, then eclipse is your best time, okay, to work on it. But for people who are not ready, who doesn't want to work on anything, you better run far, far away. So technically, I mean, if you talk about that, then it's not wrong lah. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. It's just that to us, I believe that you have to tell them that you have a choice to learn it. Right? Instead of running away, you have a choice to learn it, and every time you make good use of it and learn the lessons, sooner or later, one day, you will stop running away from it. Okay, you tell them the choice first. I mean, some people will still choose to run away, but it's their choice. Okay, at least they're aware of it. Not to say that they're not aware. Okay, so Yvonne is there. Okay, there's a lot of Soul Journey students tonight. Mei Yong, hi, Mei Yong is there as well. Okay, Po Ching, okay, and Juna Kula watching from Philippines. But I also want to say, yeah, since so many Soul students here, okay, and I know that I would say all my Soul students or most of my Soul students, okay, energy level, you guys are more than ready. And this time around when the eclipse is here, okay, it will be a very good time for you to, in a way, probably put whatever that you have learned so far into action. I mean, it can just be as of a service, okay? Start it off as a service, community service, serve your friends or your family members. You want to do a small little circle of meditation with them, okay? You want to, like, in a way, Mei Yong, okay? You want to come up with like a special, like, sound sessions or whatever, please do it. Po Ching, okay? Don't just dare Gigi Tok Tok, okay? Point finger, all right? Start doing something, okay? The eclipse is the best time for us to work on it. And you see, it's like the more we can work and in a way touch other people's life, okay, the more light that we can spread and the more awareness, okay, that we can actually spread out. Because there's only so much we can do, you know. There's only so much that we can touch, okay, the lives of, right? Because it's like, example, it's like the bunch of you guys, but every one of you will have some strands of light that will be connected with different light beings, okay? Different people, different connections, right? Different social work or network. So bring your light over to this different group of people, okay? Like in a way, like, I would say it's like, how to say, it's like opposite of dimming the light means what?
Upping the light. Brightening the light.
Thank you.
Spreading the light. That's a good one.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Sharing the light.
Yeah, sharing the light, okay, in a way, upping the light, brightening the light, whatever you want to call it, okay? So please take these things, go out there. And that is something that I truly, truly wants to see, okay? That like all of you are really working, okay, towards spreading this energy out. All right? So yeah, Jacqueline, okay, yeah, Jacqueline watching from Denmark there,
Yeah,
okay,
here's some-
illuminating. Thank you,
that's a
Jacqueline.
great
So,
word.
yeah, that's a great one.
That's a great word.
Illuminating. What's happening to both of us? Okay. It's like today we work very hard.
Yeah.
Okay, Coco,
Hello
we are
to
not done
Joan
yet.
Vega as well as Xiang Ling, right? Drop hellos on the Kong Yu page.
Talking about illuminating, let's show my illuminating workshop.
Okay. So let's see, right? So what's
The
happening?
first one is what? Yeah.
So of course we have prepared a lot of workshops on ground, in person,
Yeah.
and also online, right? But before we get to those that are eclipse related, so tomorrow, which
Yes.
Josen is finalizing,
Josens. Yeah, that's why tonight
And
he's not here on Facebook
focusing
Live.
on, right? So this is
His time has come.
This one I am personally looking forward to as well because we are taking a break from just metaphysics. We're talking about something
Yeah.
that's very applicable for period 9, right? The ability to sell.
Yeah, which is very important. Fire element,
Correct.
fire energy.
Right.
So those of you, I know quite a number of you have bought this workshop as well. But in case some of you, if you have not probably in a way sign up for this workshop, and you would love to in a way join Josten tomorrow, okay, and us behind the scene, okay, so join him tomorrow. It's 188, okay, 2 p.m. to 5:30 is an online workshop. All right. So other than this, okay, we also have the next upcoming one because we have quite a number. Oh yeah,
Okay.
preview the
Yep.
power of sound healing. And you know, okay, now of course I will be also sharing with you that it's like sound healing is seriously the medicine of the future. Okay, it's like coming out the sound, the vibrations of the sound are very, very important. And it's like now we talk about like, I know a lot of times we talk about sound healing and other things, right? A lot of you probably are, what exactly is it? Okay, it's like never heard of. Now imagine, okay, in a way rewind probably 30, 40 years ago, when we talk about yoga, probably you have not heard of it. Okay, example, right? You're talking about like in the maybe like 70s or 80s, there are already yoga somewhere, okay? But for us, right, it's like, what is yoga? It's like aerobics or whatever, maybe yes, but yoga, nah, all right? But the thing is that you try to think about this, or even in the 80s, you talk about feng shui and all that. A lot of people, in a way, like, even though he had been existing for thousands of years, but a lot of people, in a way, is like, not really, in a way, are into it. Now, this is the next wave. The next wave is sound healing. All right, so those of you, if you embark on this journey, okay, earlier you will become the pioneer of sound healing, at least in a way in this certain part of the world. In fact, like, if you really go into research, right, sound healing is nothing new, you know. Again, this history has been dated way back. Everywhere you go in the pyramids and other things, you know that it is built in a way that have this resonance to certain vibrations and certain sound, okay? So therefore, if you want to know and understand what is this power of sound healing? What is this sound healing is about? How is it related, okay, to astrology? How is it related to ourselves? I mean, I'm interested in Bazi, I'm interested in Feng Shui, but how can sound be part of it? Okay, in fact, sound healing is also part of like medicine, Chinese medicine, and of course Western medications. Nowadays, if you use ultrasound and all that, it's all vibration frequencies of the sound, okay? And this is the medicine of the future. So if you want to understand more, okay, the preview here is free. Just register yourself. It's happening on the 6th of April, okay, 9 to 10 p.m. Okay, 6th of April, Saturday, 9 to 10 p.m. Please register for this, okay, so that at least you can understand more about it. Especially those of you who get your Atma Bos, okay? Highly recommend for all of you to come to this preview to understand what exactly is the power of sound healing. And next one, okay, we also have the next workshop, okay, which is Eclipse Illumination. Thank you, Jacqueline, okay? Illumination is a word, okay? It's happening on the 7th, all right? You can bring a surprise. This is happening on the 7th of April, Sunday. Physical event. Remember, this is a physical event. Is if you are so happen to be in like Malaysia, if you are in PJ, 10:30 to 11:30 plus minus, okay, right? It's happening at Soleil Trinity Studio here in Bandar Utama. Now, this is highly recommended, but we only have last 2 slots as of just now. I'm not sure whether the last 2 slots has been taken. This is really something that now I've like been looking forward to use this, okay, because I just love, okay, the our Atma Bow series so much, okay. So this is the first time that we are doing a circle that there will be more than 40 bows, okay, that will be around, okay, in the whole entire circling the perimeter of the studio itself. Then everyone, of course, those of you, if you own your own Atma Bows, bring them, okay. If not, the rest of you, we will give you our collections of bow to use. But of course, we will put a price tag there. Once broken, considered sold. I'll give you some discount. Don't worry.
Okay. After Marianne, there were 2 other people who registered.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Say. That's full already lah.
I was just checking. I think it might be full.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you can see, you can try. I mean, if the link, because
Yeah.
the link is set to these numbers that we had set. Right. So if it still goes in, then of course it means you are still able to get a spot.
Yeah.
If not, then it's
most likely
sold
it's
out.
full lah. If
Yeah.
like two more people, because we counted just now was like last 2 slots.
Yep.
Right. So like the whole entire sessions itself, right? Let us show off a bit lah of the bow lah, because I really like it. All right. But I'm not sure how the sound is going to be like through Facebook Live. Okay. If it's like too loud for you, yeah, you probably want to put. Just love the
Trilling
sound.
has a question there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not sure you guys can hear it. So what we do during the whole session is, you can continue, okay, to remit. Right, what we do during the session is like everyone, 40 over of us, everyone will be in a way having a bowl right in front of us, and we will continuously in a way get into a meditative mode, okay, by playing the bowl. We will start rimming the bowl. Of course, it will be guided, okay, how we are using the bowl to go into our past, and then after that, using the bowl to help us, okay, to in a way propel us to the future as well. So we will use it by different ways of like, in a way, like playing with the bowl. And 40 over bowls itself will be played simultaneously at the same time, okay. So that's happening for Eclipse Illumination. And I have a calling that whenever, okay, we are doing meditations with the Atma Bowls itself, right? I know this price is, that's why I was at first I don't know whether got people sign up or not, because that is like the weekend just right before Hari Raya, okay?
The weekend.
Yeah, just right before Hari Raya, all right? So I seriously not sure whether people will sign up or not. And then I have a calling that I only can sell it for 50 ringgit, because normally it's 180 ringgit, right? But when I tried the market, apparently many of you are interested, so therefore we decided to do it as well. Yeah. Can you hear it, Leanne? Does it sound nice over Facebook Live? I know it's late lah, but you know lah, when it comes to the bowl itself, right? This afternoon we spent almost like the whole afternoon, okay, right, in the studio itself, me and Nicole playing with the bowl. Yeah, and this bowl is like one of the Guan Yin Ma series bowl that I dedicated. Any more workshop to share?
Yes.
Yeah. You can
The
continue playing
Eclipse
it.
online, right?
Yeah, okay. In case those of you overseas, you can't join us physically, okay, on the 7th, join us on the 8th. Sorry, on the 8th itself, 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. is online via Zoom, right? This is a Portal Unleash, okay? So this is a Double Dragon Eclipse workshop, all right? So this one again, we have breath work, we have guided meditation, and of course, we end with a sound healing. Now remember, okay, the illuminations, the eclipse illuminations with the bowls is not a sound healing sessions where you lie down there, okay, and relax, because this is a meditative session. So you have to sit up, okay, and then of course in your seated position for that particular 1 hour itself, okay, to play the bowl and to still ourselves as much as possible, okay, to help us get into our past and also in a way propels us into the future.
But the Portal Unleashed, right, will include a sound session.
Yes,
That's
for
right.
Portal Unleash, it will include the sound sessions. I guess that's all right,
Yeah.
Nicole? Yeah, that's all we have for now. Okay, Rap, thank you so much. Yeah, this is so good. Right, we can just keep doing this. Right, those of you who've gotten your Anma bowls, remember to season and bond with it, right? Okay, so play with it, okay, as much as possible. Right, this is a very high tone. This is a 5th octave. And that's a 3rd octave, okay? The difference between the 3rd octave and the 5th octave is like one is in a way more grounding, right? Earth work, and the other one is like heaven's work itself, okay? So, yeah, I mean, we will explain all this, okay, during our Power of Sound healing as well. So basically, that's all. Very loud and clear. Is it painful, right, for the ear? Right, next time I want to try, like probably sometimes we can just show and play some bowls via Facebook. Your nose, inform him during dinner. Yeah, good. As long as he's prepared for it. Oh, I like that. You do that again? Okay, that's all. Sorry, yeah. All right, I can go on and on, okay, like this. All right, so thank you so much, okay, to all of you. So do help us to like and share this Facebook post out, okay, so that more and more people, okay, can at least understand what exactly eclipses are about. If you have questions about eclipse, okay, all right, or you have heard probably some other teachers or gurus probably have said otherwise. Remember, it's not to say that they are wrong. It's nothing wrong, okay, to say that eclipse could be bad or in a way, right, you should stay away from it, okay, right? As I mentioned, if you are not ready to work on yourself, not ready to break through in whatsoever reason, okay, then stay away from the eclipse as much as possible. But if you want to really work on yourself, okay, you want to break through, you do not want your life itself to be bound by your own limitations, okay, of fear, okay, of like some past, okay, or some mindset or beliefs, okay, that's stopping you from propelling further in the future, then eclipse is definitely in a way a moment where you can use to maximize that potential of breaking through in a way in many times. It will multiply the times, okay, because this is the most powerful time. I mean, we can meditate all the time. Every day we can meditate, okay, but honestly for me, it's like I don't meditate every day. But the thing is, when during special moments, date selection comes into play, right? Those are the moments that you go into a deep meditation. Then you see instantaneous results.
Yeah, and I just want to summarize it as really this is the best opportunity for you to take control of your manifestation.
Yeah.
As well, right? So this is where the opportunity is there, isn't it? Because it's deep inner work, but when we are able to be on top of it, that means we are able to be in control of it. This is where, of course, right, with, for example, the waxing moon as it grows, right? That's where we're able to, of course, work with the clearance to manifest better as well, right? So that's a little bit of an incentive there, for sure, right? For doing the deep inner work that is allowed by the eclipses.
Okay. Why
Okay.
don't we just, okay, bye everyone.
night.
Thank you. You don't have to switch it off for us. Give us like 2 more minutes, okay, where we play with this. 2 more minutes later, you can switch it off. This is fun.
Okay.
Bye everyone. Good night. wonder the overtone can come out from Facebook Live. Let's try overtone.